people told me that I looked like Donald Trump. And until he declared his candidacy, I would go to Halloween parties dressed up as him, or to business meetings dressed up as him, and people had a good time, they laughed. And then when he announced his candidacy for president, I was with a community-based television station, and I had access to a television production studio, and went in and recorded a video and put it on my YouTube channel, and it was seen by an international photographer who ended up putting me in Vanity Fair magazine. People saw that in Vanity Fair magazine and started hiring me to be Donald Trump. Well, the best part is being in a. I like the contact with well, certainly people who like Trump, but my profession before doing this was a professional musician, where I am a performer. So performing and doing things in front of audiences who want to see you and who like you has always been a lot of fun. Most of the people who don't like Trump are not compelled to come up to me and touch me or anything. If I do have physical interaction with people, it's people fighting over me about whose selfie I'm going to take. People have tugged on my arms and everything like that. Oh, you have to come take my selfie, and then somebody says, no, me first. It's like they're fighting over me, and that is that's actually been more wouldn't say frightening, but more difficult to deal with than people who don't like me. There's been a couple of incidents where people who don't like me, there's a certain hat that Donald Trump is known to wear, and it says "Make America Great Again" on it. Now, I don't use my likeness of Donald Trump to participate in making political statements. I've been invited, but I don't participate in marches or rallies of any kind that are trying to promote a political viewpoint. I am an entertainer that I like to make people laugh and amuse people. I don't want to be seen as putting words in the mouth of the President of the United States. I'm not the President of the United States. I'm not really Donald Trump. I'm kind of, I guess a way to put it is I'm a clown for Donald Trump. I have been in situations where I have not had any protection with me and have become concerned about it. Like I say, mostly because people, large groups of people treat people that they like in a very similar way to people that they don't like. Both groups of people want to be close to you. They have their own reasons. And like I said, the people that are actually more physically interactive are the people who like me and who want a selfie. Pulling on my arm, going, oh, you have to take a selfie with me and my wife, and pulling on the other arm, oh, you have to take a selfie with, So it happened when I was in Singapore for the summit between Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump, where events conspired where I had to wait in front of my hotel for taxi to take me to the wherever I was going to go. I was not hired by anybody like here in Helsinki through Seiska. I was hired to come here, so they supplied security. But in Singapore, the Kim Jong-un impersonator and I thought it would be just a good idea if we were there, because we'd worked together in the past and so forth. So we paid for our own airfare there, and what that's leading to is that we didn't hire security to be with us. So a taxi was called to come and take me to an event that we wanted to be at. And so I had to wait downstairs in the lobby of the hotel, in the entrance of the hotel, for the taxi to arrive. And as soon as I came out the door to the street level where the taxi was supposed to come, 2 tour buses were emptying, full of tourists. And everyone from the tour bus, from both tour buses, gathered around me, and everybody wanted selfies and so forth. And they so blocked the street and the entrance to the hotel that the taxi couldn't get there that was supposed to take me to this event. So it was, and that was a group of people that there were a couple of people that were problematic that started tugging on me, wanting selfies and so forth. So it was a concerning situation. But Seiska has been very good here about making sure that I'm protected and everything, and the people in Helsinki have been very nice. The unveiling of the most important part of a Trump impersonation is the hair. See, you guys could probably take this around today. You don't need me. You could just carry this around and it'd be good. Yes, it is real hair, human hair. I had to have the wig made, custom made for me. There are wigs that are not human hair, but they are made of plastic, and you have to be careful styling them because certain styling, you're a girl, you may know certain styling instruments heat up, and when it's not human hair, it's plastic, you have to be careful that you don't melt the hair. But this is human hair. And it is a kind of a fortunate thing. I mean, I do dye my hair, but this is my original hair color. So it just happens to coincide with Trump's. And if I don't want to take the trouble to put on the wig, I'll put on a Trump hat. And if you notice, I put on the hat. I don't need the wig. Here I am, Donald Trump, without the wig, and I can't wear both because the wig, the hat will disturb things. A lot of other Donald Trump impersonators have to do things to their face that alter their nose or do cheekbones or something like this, and it's another fortunate thing. I just don't have to do that. So it just takes me, a couple of minutes to put this orange tint to my face, and I'm ready to go. So that's a fortunate thing for me. So the hair is actually the defining factor. And when I do certain appearances, I will use my cap instead of my hair. It all depends on different things. Usually events where I'm not hired to go there, I'm just there because I want to be there, I'll just use the cap and because it's quicker and so on. So if I'm wearing the hat, I'll just take the hat off. I have glasses that I put on and I kind of go in disguise. But this is the most difficult part for me because I am not a hairdresser. This is the most difficult part of the whole makeup process for me, is applying this wig, which I have to say I've grown to despise. Just because this thing is actually more important than I am in the whole scheme of things, and I'm jealous of it, and I have to, so. But it is I wouldn't say a concern, but a different thing to be so dependent on the behavior of somebody else. When I'm a musician back in Chicago, I earn my accolade by being good, or earn people booing at me if I sing a wrong note or if my instrument doesn't work right. But as Donald Trump, or as for anybody who is a lookalike or an impersonator of a different person, you're so dependent on what happens to this other person that, conceivably Trump could, and people think he already has, but conceivably Trump could do something that ruins my career as Trump, because he has stepped in it or done something where, he could. There are things that could happen to him, put it that way, that he does, that I have absolutely no control over, that will affect my career. And that's a constant concern and a worry of doing this, and just being dependent on what happens or what is done by another person is like I can't grow a mustache. Not that I would, but if he did, I'd have to. Things like that. So it's not a matter of what does it feel like to be Donald Trump. It's more, it's more of a concern because Donald Trump is such a controversial person that there is an equal amount of oh boy, that I kind of like a celebrity, but then again, I'm also become a people's effigy for what they feel about Donald Trump. I'll be at places where it's pretty obvious, the closer you get to me, that I'm not Donald Trump. Particularly if I'm in the United States, but people will feel compelled to talk to me as if I'm Donald Trump, and I guess it's an instinctive thing with people, because somewhere in their mind they must know that I'm not really Donald Trump. And as a matter of fact, most of my, very much of what I'm paid to do is to make a fool out of Donald Trump. In Vanity Fair magazine, for example, one of the pictures is of me naked being sprayed with suntan because everybody thinks that Trump's suntan is fake and that it's sprayed on. So I'm standing in a suntan booth naked and they're spraying, so somebody, and yet people feel compelled to come up to me and, say, I was at a music concert a couple of weeks ago before I came here, and I was walking by and this lady said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I said, what? And she says, you're a monster. And I said, I'm not Donald Trump. And she said, well, thank God. Like she just felt compelled to talk to me like I'm Donald Trump. And it probably, I don't take time to talk to those people and try and reason with them. But I don't think it would have helped if I said, look, I make most of my money by making a fool out of Donald Trump. I don't think that would have, there's something instinctive about people that because I look like somebody, that their feelings about that person are projected on me. And it's a problem. I still do occasionally musical engagements, for one thing, because I don't want to burn any bridges. Anything could happen at any time that this could come to a screeching halt. There was a very, very good impersonator for John F. Kennedy. Kennedy gets assassinated, and in the time it took a bullet to go through his head, his career was over. Not that, heaven forbid that happens to Trump, but there are a lot of things like that could happen to Trump that will. There is something cathartic for me in playing musical instruments. I miss it when I don't have a chance to do it. I did karaoke yesterday, and that was a lot of fun because that's what I do as a musician, is sing along with music, and it was I think I looked like I was having a lot of fun, and I really was. Thank Seiska for this for this opportunity, and I'm having a great time. And the Seiska people have been extremely nice, very helpful, and they're just wonderful people.